was that she was a fashion designer and she moved out here and somebody asked her what she was doing and she just made it up on the fly. And somebody was like, oh, okay, well, I like your clothes, so I'm sure you can like design my house. That's how they do.
Man, it is good to be white, boy. Woo, it is good to be white. Oh
Yes.
man, it's
So, meanwhile, I have all of these credentials and here I am working for you. But that's,
so she made a whole, so she has a full company at this point when you start working for her.
Yeah, for sure. So, and it was only like, it was very small. It was me and one other girl as a designer, and then she had like her assistant. Eventually, it was just like she and I. So I was doing like everything. Like I was doing the website. We had a newsletter. I was putting out the newsletter.
Anything. Oh, so you're doing operations work too.
I'm doing all of it. Like at one point I was doing the social media, she had a blog that she would do and I would like do that. So on top of doing like interior design work, like we fronted like it was this huge company when it was really like 3 people.
Damn.
Yeah. It was insane, but I learned a lot. And then I think my mind, I did not realize that certain things existed. So one of the first projects that we worked on was the owner or the CFO of PF Chains.
Oh, wow. And he lives in Phoenix, obviously.
Yeah, he lives in Scottsdale. When I tell you we did a couch for him, it was $45,000.
For the couch?
For a sofa.
Is this like the couch that goes like through a whole room? Or is this like a regular 3-seat couch?
I mean, it probably could seat 4 or 5 people.
So it's not even a sectional.
It's a sectional.
Okay.
It's a sectional, but it was, I mean, when you get into like the fabrics, it's custom made and silk pillows and things like that. Yeah. And that's not even the most expensive thing that we would procure for somebody. One of our clients, we had one in New York, had a coffee table. Their coffee table was $140,000.
Did this coffee table like charge your phone? Did it like do some stuff like that? Because then my kid tables do that. You can put your phone on it and it charge. I love that. That's.
And it wasn't even dope. You know what I mean? It was from some artist that he was a huge art collector. I mean, he had like a Richter painting, and I think it was like $5 million. Like, I mean, like real money.
So and that's kind of like how these NFTs are going to end up being. Have you heard of NFTs?
No, what is that?
So, oh man, so this is the new thing of buying digital things.
Okay.
So we could take a picture of us doing this podcast now and sell it as like, even though somebody could copy it literally off the website after it goes up, but it's the digital idea that I took it and I took a picture of it. Like, for instance, there's a LeBron James like video that you can get on YouTube, and it's one that it is sold for $800,000, a video of LeBron James dunking. But they're called digital. What? They're digital like cars, digital things you can like trade or sell off. Like, so like if Nas is in the studio and he's recording something and it takes a picture of him in the booth, that could be sold for $20,000, the digital version. This ain't a printed version. This the him taking it and they're selling it through like Bitcoin and stuff like that. Like, it's some crazy stuff. Yeah. So like, people, if you have a name for yourself, you can take a picture you doing something like, Jay-Z just walking down the street wearing my S. Carters. He could probably he might be able to sell it for 10 grand, 15 grand, maybe more.
Interesting. Because so it's kind of like how like paparazzis take shots and then they sell it to whatever.
Yeah, but this is,
you know what? It's so, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I was telling somebody else, there is so much money to be made out there. You just got to figure out how you can get it. And, we be so busy, trying to, it is not even about like doing some like new innovative thing. Like, just because somebody else is doing it, don't mean that you can't do it. And you can also be successful and you can also make a ton of money doing it. And we just have to be willing to kind of like just think outside the box just a little bit. Because again, like most people, you're not gonna get rich working for somebody else.
No.
So you gotta figure out a way to like make it on your own and then start selling it. Because why not? Why not?
Yeah. Why
It's
not?
like,
Especially the opportunity now is so much plentiful. There's no,
and we've been
the
so
barriers of entry is so much lower.
yeah, for sure, especially now. But we've been so conditioned, you know, of just like one way. And again, you know, with Black people, it's riskier because you don't have, you know, that fallback. You don't have like, you know, that cushion to kind of like give you the opportunity to be able to take those risks. You know, like even for instance, like getting an internship, you know, a lot of people, they can maybe afford to get like, especially like in New York, when they're doing like a huge magazine, those girls, you know, they come from money. So they can get these unpaid internships, look the part, and then get, you know, these doors open up to them where they can move through, whereas somebody else would not have that opportunity. It's like, I can't afford to take an unpaid internship because I gotta eat. And I don't have anybody paying my, you know, like my bills. And not to say that that's everybody's experience, but that is, you know, like a huge barrier when it comes to be able to like take those more calculated risks in order to like push you to the next level. And so I don't know, we just gotta be able to think about like, how can we rethink how we are moving through spaces? And a lot of the things that we don't do is because of fear. You know, it's not that you're any less talented than the next person. It's just a matter of saying, you know, like, let me do this. Like, even when I started to do my own interior design firm, which honestly was bred out of the pandemic. So I started a new IG. So I had like just purely dedicated to interior design. So it's a Black girl in West Elm. I love West Elm. I love, you know, like their aesthetic. I love like the price point. Like
So explain
it's
West
not
Elm for
like,
people that may not know. Explain what a West Elm is.
so West Elm is a furniture store.
Mhm.
So there's one in the gallery. If you know, a St. Louis listener, they got one in the galley apparently, but it's just a furniture store. So, but they do more like mid-century modern aesthetic, but they have like a little bit of glam to them. And I love the price point. So it's not like IKEA cheap. It's not, but you could get pieces that you will have forever. Unlike IKEA, where I
It's
don't
a patchwork
recommend
situation.
right. Like they have, don't get me wrong, like IKEA has certain things that definitely work. But to me, if you got to sit on it, don't get it from there.
Yeah.
Because it's fine if you're maybe in the dorm or whatever. But when you got a real house with real furniture, I wouldn't recommend it. But they have stuff that's, you know, like it's affordable. Even if you have to save a little bit, it's not like Restoration Hardware, because Restoration will have like a $5 or $6 or $12,000 sofa. It's not that, but you can get like some great pieces that you will have forever. So, you know, like I kind of built this social media, like my IG, kind of around that. And then it just kind of like exploded. It was around the time where we were doing like a lot of Black Lives Matter, a lot of trying to get Black people just a lot more visibility. So you remember when they had the whole like share the mic campaign?
Mm-hmm.
So they did one, this girl did one, and it was like the home edition. And when I tell you, like her IG like blew up overnight because she just basically piggybacked. This is what I'm talking about. Like it's so much shit. Like you can just kind of co-sign somebody else's stuff, make it like legit. She went from having like 2,000 followers in a week. She had 12,000, all because she just took, you know, and now she has like, she gets like sponsorships. She's like on the board for a home decor magazine. You know, like she's gotten all of this notoriety and visibility all because she started this thing that had already been started. And she just threw home edition on it. And I'm not trying to, you know, like discredit her or
No. It was
anything.
ingenious to do that. Like
It was. That's what I mean. You know, like it's enough for everybody. And so she asked me, she had reached out to certain people and she had asked me to be a part of it. Again, I really didn't talk to her. I didn't know her. And she just kind of like sent me an email because she saw that I had like a few people on there. And I was like, sure, you know, like, why not? And I just threw some stuff together. And it seemed like from that moment, that page just really kind of took off. And then from there, like one of my friends, the same guy whose mother gave me my internship, he calls me and he's just like, Jenelle, you have 3,000 followers, but still no design business. And I was like, you know what?
You're right. Get this started. Yep.
You're right. And I had already had like my LLC from like a couple of years ago.
Oh, dang, you got your LLC instead of spending on your the ribs or whatever they all the other jokes about people not getting an LLC and
Again,
on the crab legs. My bad, the crab legs.
First of all, when they be saying that shit, LLCs be $65.
I know.
Like,
and you gotta there's a whole bunch more behind that you gotta do that people don't even notice besides registering.
They don't. And that I had to learn.
Like getting a bank account, getting all this stuff, because your LLC is not technically certified till you have that bank account.
You